Major support for Do the Math has been provided by CHEVRON, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary STROOPE Family Foundation, Panama-BUENA VISTA Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Today we're at Highland Elementary, home of the Hawks, and we're here to Today we're at Highland Elementary, home of the Hawks. We've got some 4th and 5th grade students, and we're going to talk a little bit about triangles and angles. All right, you guys ready? So first of all, before we even worry about what's on the paper, what do you know about triangles?
They're, most of them are acute angles.
Some have acute angles, right? What else?
They have 3 sides.
They have 3 sides, right? That's probably the easiest thing every kid knows about triangles, that it has 3 sides, right? So we know that it has 3 sides. That's what makes it a triangle. You made a comment that some of the angles are acute, right? Are there any other types of angles?
Obtuse.
Obtuse. And what else?
Right.
A right angle. So what's the difference between these? How do we know if it's acute, obtuse, or right?
Even if it's an acute, it's a very small angle.
Okay, if it's acute angle, it's a small angle. Now, how small does it have to be?
At least like this or like that.
Could it be like this?
No, that if it was like this.
What if it was like that?
That's a right angle.
Well then, what about this? Because that's just a little bit different, isn't it? So what would that be? Almost right? So it would be an acute, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. How do we know, instead of just looking like, all right, we know that's a right angle, how do we know?
We know because it's 90 degrees or less.
Okay, so if it's a right angle, it has to be what?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. So if it's less than 90 degrees, then it's the acute angle, right? What about the other one you guys mentioned, obtuse? What's the deal with obtuse? You guys know what obtuse is? What's obtuse?
Bigger than 90 degrees.
Bigger than 90 degrees, right? So we know that the right angle is 90 degrees, acute is less than 90, and obtuse is bigger than 90, all right? And we know that triangles have 3 sides, all right? So let's take a look at the paper that we've got, all right? We've got a lot of different angles on there. So what I want you to do is, with your partner, work on these and see if you can classify them as either acute, obtuse, or right angles. All right? Go ahead. Who thinks they've got them 100% correct? You feeling pretty confident on that, huh? All right, let's find out. So let's start up on the top left, all right? What's that?
Obtuse.
How did you know that was obtuse?
Because it's bigger than 90.
It's bigger than 90 degrees, right? It's almost a straight, it's almost perfectly straight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that that's going to be more than 90 degrees. What about the next one next to it?
That one is also obtuse.
That's also obtuse, right? What about down in the middle?
Obtuse.
Obtuse. What do you guys have for the middle on the right side?
Acute.
Acute, right? So that's the first one that's acute. So what did you notice about that? How did you know it was acute?
Because it's smaller than 90 degrees.
It's smaller than 90 degrees, right? Do we have any on the paper that is a 90-degree angle?
Yes.
Which one?
Bottom left.
The bottom left, right? That's the right angle. What is the little mark in there? Right? Have you guys ever seen where they make an actual square sometimes on the angle? Right? This one's a little curved, but you guys can tell that's the right angle. Okay? And what about the last one? Altogether, what is it?
Acute.
Acute. Very nice. All right. So there we go. Classifying some angles with our work towards triangles coming up with the 4th and 5th grade students at Highland Elementary. All right, once again, we're at Highland Elementary, home of the Hawks. We've got some 4th and 5th grade students. We were talking a little bit about angles, right, and triangles. Okay, so you're going to need to remember that knowledge that you have in order to do these problems. So, the 3 of you will have these clues to work with. All right? You 2 guys ready? All right. So those are your clues. And each of these puzzles is different. So if you see somebody starting to make some shapes with theirs and you look, oh, maybe that's like ours, they're completely different puzzles. Okay? And I don't even know which ones I gave each of you, so it's just random draw right now. All right? So what I want you to do is, first of all, take off the paper clip and take a look at the different clues that you have for your puzzle. And you can just kind of lay them out in front of you so that you can see all of them at the same time. So you should have 6 for each of yours, okay? So let's take a look at one of your clues. Pick any one of your clues and go ahead and read it.
The figure has 2 triangles and 1 square. All the sides are either 1 or 2 sticks long, no broken sticks. Make the figure.
Okay, so you know that there's going to be 2 triangles and 1 square when you eventually make this whole thing. But all the other clues will kind of help you figure out where everything goes, all right? Go ahead and read one of your cards.
The figure is made up of 2 triangles that are not congruent.
So do you guys know what congruent means?
No.
Same shape and size. So if they're congruent, they have to be the same shape and the same size. So are yours congruent or not congruent?
Not congruent.
So that's something you're going to need to remember, all right? What about one of your clue cards?
The triangle and the square share a side.
So the triangle and the square share a side. So that, right, if we had a triangle and a square, could I go like this?
Yeah.
Because then the square and the triangle share a side, right? You said that you had 2 triangles that are not congruent, right? So I could have one like this and then I could have one like this, because they're not the same shape or size, are they?
No.
No. And what was the one you had? You have 2 triangles and 1 square. So yours could look something like that even, where you have 2 triangles and 1 square. So we don't know how it's going to look yet, right? So with your partner or partners, go ahead, take a look at all the clues. You have the sticks inside the bag. Go ahead and see if you can make that stick figure, all right? Go ahead.
Six of the sticks in the figure are
Is it 12?
neither. 6 of the sticks in the figure.
9, 10.
You guys have a little something going. You have all 12 there?
Yes. One triangle has a perimeter of 7 sticks. Oh.
So let's count the sticks, all right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So how many sticks are in your figure?
11.
11?
12.
Well, we counted that,
Oh.
right? So here we have 3, right? And there's 4, and there's 4. So we have 11 sticks. So how many does your need?
12.
So here's that other one. So you need to figure out where that one goes.
Isn't there a square shapes on the same side, but only one
What
of
we
them
could do
with only
is
one triangle?
make like
It's not as easy as it looks, is it? Well, keep working. There you go. You've got a pentagon. Very good. Do you need a pentagon in yours?
no segment figures
Shorter
shorter than 2 sticks.
When it talks about the perimeter, what does that mean? You guys know what perimeter is?
Outside.
Right, the outside.
The area is the inside.
Area is the inside. Perfect. There we go. And the 4th and 5th grade students working on angles, triangles, congruency, perimeter, all of those great things at Highland Elementary. All right, once again, we're with the 4th and 5th grade students at Highland Elementary, home of the Hawks. I've been calling you guys Hawks. You are Hawks, right? Okay, because I thought I saw that in the office on the way through here. And we've been working with triangles, angles, and things like that. Time to move on to another topic now where we have geometric solids. Have you guys seen these before, or do you have any idea what any of these might be? Yes. What do you think they are? Or do you know anything about any of them?
Well, they're all 3D shapes.
They're all 3D shapes, right? They have the height, length, and width, right? They're 3D shapes. They're just not flat on a paper where we could look at some shapes. What else do we know about them?
There's different classifications of 3D.
Okay. What do you mean by different classifications? How would you?
Like different types of shapes, like that's a pyramid and that's a cone.
Okay. You're very close.
No, that's not cone, that's a cylinder.
What's this? That's the cone. That's the cylinder. Perfect, right? And why would you say this one is a pyramid?
Because it's a triangle.
Okay, good.
I think that this one looks more like a period because it has 4 sides.
So that looks more like a pyramid instead?
Yeah.
So what would you say? Okay, so let's take a look and think about those two right there. All right? So one's a pyramid, one's a prism.
That one would be the prism.
That's a prism. So we know that that's a prism. And the way we classify it is we take a look at the base. So you can take a look at the blue part. So we know that it's a triangle, right? So it's a triangular prism. Okay? This we know is a pyramid. Now take a look at the blue part. What shape is that?
Square.
It's a square. So it's a what? Square pyramid, right? So they're either pyramids or prisms. Unless you get to this. And you guys know what that is. What is that?
Cone.
That's a cone. Okay? What about this one?
A sphere.
A sphere. So you guys are all over this thing. What about this one then? It's a half a sphere, but there's another name for
A
it.
dome?
It looks like a dome. The Earth is split into a northern and a southern
Hemisphere.
right? So that's a hemisphere. Okay? Which one is this? What's that? Cylinder, right? Looks like a can, right? That's a cylinder. Now, what about this?
Cube.
Cube. How do you know it's a cube?
It's a 3D version of a square.
Okay, right? It's all the same shape and size of every side on it, right? So it's 6 sides, so you've got a cube, all right? Now, the last one, all right? First of all, let's think. Is it a pyramid or a prism?
Prism.
It's a prism because it doesn't come to a point like the pyramid does, right? How many sides? All you have to do is look at the base. How many sides are on it?
6.
6. So if it's 6 sides, what is it called? You guys know what a 6-sided figure is called?
Hexagon.
Hexagon. So that's a hexagonal prism. All right? So what I'd like you guys to do is you can see that you have different shapes, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to play this game where this is called a net. Okay? So you guys can work in pairs. And what you're going to do is try to find, so number one, if you took one of these and folded it all out, which one of these would it be? So take a look at number 1. If we folded it all up, what do you think that would look like? A cube, right? So next to number 1, you can just write cube, or you can write it next to it or someplace like that, all right? So one of you can go ahead and write cube in there, or next to it. What about the one right next to it? So number 5, what do you think that is? So we see the bottom.
A triangular pyramid?
And we bring up all the sides. So all the sides are going to come up to a point. And what's the bottom shape?
Square.
Square. So it's going to be a square what?
Pyramid.
Square pyramid. So do you see square pyramid on there anywhere? There you go, square pyramid. So we'll keep playing the match game, classifying solid figures as they pertain to nets when that solid figure is taken apart and all laid out flat with the 4th and 5th grade students at Highland Elementary. We have the 4th and 5th grade students at Highland Elementary working on a little bit of geometry. You guys enjoying everything so far?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, now you're going to compare and contrast 2 different solids. So, when you compare things, what are you doing?
Seeing how they're alike.
Seeing how they're alike, similar. When you contrast something, what are you doing?
You're
Seeing
finding
how
that they're
they're
different.
How they're different, okay? So, each of you in a pair is going to get 2 solids. And what you're going to do is you're going to compare and contrast anything that you find with the solids, okay? So you have a rectangular prism and a cylinder, all right? So both of you guys go, you can make notes on the back of the paper, compare, contrast what you've got. You also have a cylinder, but instead of a cylinder, you have a cylinder and a cone, all right? So you guys go ahead and get to work. You have a triangular pyramid and a triangular prism, all right? You guys have a cube and a rectangular prism, all right? So go ahead, discuss with each other the similarities and differences in those solids.
That one only has 1 base, okay.
2 bases. Because you can just look on this one.
That one only has 1 base, okay.
So it looks like a lot of you have found something that's the same and different, okay? As you're doing that, we're going to see how good your sense of touch is, all right? So, I know that I had you write down some things on the paper for me, right?
Yes.
So cylinder, sphere, cube. All right, so we're going to have you go first. By putting your hand in there without looking, I want you to pull out a cube. So we're going to see if you guys can, based on what you know about a cube right now, use your other sense of touch to see if you can. Ah, nicely done. He found the cube. Is he correct?
Yes.
All right, back in there with it, young man. All right. How about a sphere? Is she correct?
Yes.
What were you thinking of, or what were you trying to feel when you were in the bag?
Something round and no like points.
No points and definite sides, right? So that's one thing. Okay, very good. All right, let's go with a cone. See if you can find a cone. What were you thinking of while you were? What were you?
Finding
your
the
head.
flat bottom and the top point.
Okay. Go ahead, put that back in there. How about a square pyramid? That was pretty quick. What were you thinking of? What were you trying to focus on?
I was trying to find the 4 sides and the flat bottom with the point.
Okay. How about a cube? So what are you trying to think of right now as you're going through this?
I
see if I could find 4 sides, 4 flat sides.
Okay. You able to find that yet in there? There you go. Nicely done. Cube. All right. Let's see if there's anything on here we haven't found.
Cylinder.
Yeah, pull out that cylinder. What were you thinking of?
Something smooth with 2 bases.
Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 5.
3.
1, 2, 3. Cube. Find the cube. You guys are getting too good at this. All right, put that back in there. All right, Hotshot, you get the last one. Pick a number 1 to 5. Not 3.
4.
4, the cone. Find the cone. You guys are masters of this. Excellent work, 4th and 5th grade students at Highland Elementary.